Out in the rugged landscape of South Africa's Richtersveld, survival is, well, it's an art form. It's a place where plants don't just grow, they evolve into these absolutely extraordinary living sculptures, shaped by the sheer harshness of their environment. I mean, just look at this. It almost looks like a piece of gnarled ancient driftwood, doesn't it? But it's a living plant, clinging to life among the rocks. This is what adaptation looks like when it's pushed to the absolute extreme. And it kind of makes you wonder, how does enduring relentless sun, brutal wind, and drought transform a simple plant into something so complex and, well, so beautiful? That's the mystery we're going to dig into today. And the answer, it turns out, lies in a brilliant evolutionary strategy. The secret weapon is something called the Caudex. Now, think of it like a built-in survival pack. This thickened, woody base acts as a reservoir, storing everything the plant needs to just wait out those long, dry spells. It's the engine of its survival, and it's the very thing that creates these incredible sculptural forms. Okay, so let's meet our first living sculpture, Othonna quercifolia. This plant is a masterclass in adaptation. And what's so fascinating is that it doesn't just have one survival strategy. It actually displays different physical forms depending on its specific environment. And this illustrates the point perfectly. On the left, from a place called Bogaberg, you see the pachycaul form. It's got these thick, swollen stems that do all the storing. But on the right, from van der Sturberg, the plant develops a more distinct, bulbous caudex at its base. It's the same species, but with two totally different solutions to the exact same problem. Incredible, right? And you know, there's a fascinating human connection to this plant. Its scientific name literally means oak-leaved, and thankfully, it's common enough to be listed as least concern. But local people have a much more practical name for it, the chewing gum bush. Turns out its sap has traditionally been chewed to soothe stomach aches, making this piece of natural art a kind of living medicine cabinet. So we've seen a common plant with a really unique use. But now our story pivots to a much, much rarer survivor, where the stakes are dramatically higher. We're shifting from a common survivor to an ancient endangered species known as the dwarf porkbush. 200 years. That's how old some of these individual plants are estimated to be. Think about that. They are truly ancient beings, living records of history, which makes their fight for survival today all the more critical. So this is it, Portulacaria pygmaea. It looks just like a natural bonsai tree, perfectly miniaturized and sculpted by the elements. But this tiny ancient plant is facing some giant threats. Its habitat is being destroyed by diamond mining. It's getting overgrazed by livestock. And because of its unique beauty, it's also targeted by illegal collectors. It got so bad that in 2015, it was officially added to the red list of threatened species. This ancient survivor is in real trouble. But this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. You might be thinking, well, let's just grow them in greenhouses to save them, right? But it's not that simple. For this plant, its true character, its very essence, is completely tied to its harsh, wild home. And here is the paradox. Out in the wild, it's the hardship, the scarce water, the intense heat, the powerful winds that forces it to create that dense, gnarled caudex. But in cultivation, with regular watering and protection, it doesn't develop a caudex at all. It just grows into a skilly, upright plant that looks nothing like its wild relatives. The very struggle that makes it so beautiful is the one thing we can't replicate. And that brings us to this really powerful statement from the author of our source material, Pieter van Wyk. After years of study, he says he's never seen a cultivated specimen that can match the magnificent form of the wild ones. They are, in a very real sense, untamable. So this challenge, it led Van Wyk on a personal mission. His work took a dramatic turn when he stumbled upon a very, very special population of these plants, a discovery that kicked off a real race against time to protect them. He first spotted this specimen at the edge of a quarry and actually thought it was just a stone. But when he looked closer, he realized he'd found a true Methuselah, a plant that was likely 200 years old, with a caudex about 15 centimeters across, shaped into this impressive sculpture by centuries of sun and sandstorms. Finding what might be the oldest population in existence sparked immediate action. The plan is clear. First, fence the area to protect it from grazing. Second, limit access to guided tours only to prevent trampling. And most importantly, shield these ancient plants from illegal collectors. Because when you look at one of these, you're not just seeing a plant, you're seeing a living monument. Every twist in that caudex is a record of a drought it survived, every scar a story of a storm it weathered. They're like living time capsules of resilience. So, what can this wild plant teach us? Well, if the very thing that makes this species so extraordinary, its ancient sculptural form, cannot exist outside of its natural habitat, it tells us something really profound. Saving a species isn't just about preserving its DNA, it's about protecting the entire world that gives it its meaning.